years. Let's look at the jobs record since he took office. Back in 2009, when he first came in, 133 million Americans were employed at that time. That number was already dropping dramatically coming out of the Bush years, and it kept dropping until February 2010, when it hit its very lowest point. Then we began this long, slow grind up to where we are today, which is about 1.2 million jobs higher than it was when the president took office in 2009. That is an improvement, but not nearly as robust as many people would like to see. And here's the more important point. The jobs that we lost over here were better than the jobs we have gained back over here. And let me explain what I'm talking about here. Rutgers University did a study where they talked to a lot of people who had lost jobs and then regained other jobs. And this is what they found. Of those people, 22% said they're being paid the same as they were before. Beyond that, though, look at this. 24% said they're being paid more, and 55% said they're being paid less. This is one of the great underreported stories of this economy. Underemployment. People who are working hard, who are trying to move ahead, many of whom are middle class, they just can't get any real traction here. This is the great challenge for this president, not merely to produce jobs, but to produce good jobs, which continue to be in short supply. Chris?
And Tom, you make an excellent point. And not only looking at that big red section, is that an obvious challenge, because when you look at underemployment, you go from 8% to 16%, so it's a much more formidable number. It's also impressive because it seems as though you should have a magic wand, Tom. The way you move your hand and things, I'm new to CNN, that is very impressive. I'm going to come see you after I finish here. You can teach me how to do that. Okay. Let's go back to our contributors right now. I have started from my left, Van Jones, Anna Navarro, Cornell Belcher, and Margaret Hoover. A blessed panel. Thank you. It's good to have you here. Let's start with what really should be the headline, okay? We have a bad problem with underemployment. We don't talk about it that much. We like unemployment because it's a lower number, let's be honest. So, the Democrats and jobs, Anna Navarro, have they proven in any demonstrable way that they're making jobs in this country the way we need them to be made?
Well, look, if we take a look at the last quarter of this last year and how it has to be readjusted, the answer is no. I think we would all agree that we're still a country in economic distress. And I'm glad that President Obama pivoted back to jobs, because I hadn't heard him talk about the economy, the deficit, jobs, none of the fiscal issues during the inaugural. I thought it was a huge gap in his inaugural speech. So it's a good thing he's talking about it. I may not agree with everything he's saying, but at least I'm glad he's addressing it. I do think that, he offered a gigantic grocery list of what he wants. I'm not sure he gets it all. In fact, I'm sure he doesn't get it all. I'm not sure we can afford it all. He says it's not going to increase by one dime. He's right. It's going to increase by a whole lot of dimes.
The price tag is a big issue. What happened tonight? Dan, let me get your response for it. Go to the break. We'll get more on the other side of it. What's the response?
Well, I think it's something a couple things. First of all, just back on the last topic, nothing stops a bullet in most of these neighborhoods like a job, like a good job. There's a big economic dimension to the violence. These issues are connected, number one. Number two, the things this president put forward that would create jobs are things that I think we can afford to do and have to do. We talk about public-private partnerships, bringing in private capital to fix our bridges and our roads. It's fiscally irresponsible to let the bridges fall down, 70,000 bridges fall down, and then fix them when it costs more money. So he is putting forward ideas that I think are common sense ideas. I hope he gets more credit for reaching out with these common sense ideas that will create jobs and make America stronger.
You say interconnected. One of the problems with it is job growth and raising taxes creates partisan like almost nothing else, because the Republicans, Margaret, tell me if I'm right quickly, that when you say we're going to raise taxes, it seems to be the opposite of job growth and stimulus.
Realize what it is that she's seeing, and a lot of us don't realize exactly what these things are, but step by step, let's learn together. First of all, we know that Australia has a lot of TeslaTech arrays, a lot of HARP-type arrays that use frequency to the tune of maybe 1 to up to 5 million megahertz. So that's 5 gigahertz of frequency. That is unbelievable. It's something that you can't even imagine. Now, the TTA emissions, the the Antarctic region. It was being emitted toward this rift in these seas, this tectonic plate. This entire area is unstable all along this tectonic plate. They came from this portion of Antarctica. It came from a place very close to Casey Base, Antarctica. In a moment I'll show you Casey Base. It's not quite at Casey Base. It's outside the base. I mean, I wouldn't want to be on a base with this kind of emitter. As you can see when you zero in on it, there is an emissions line. It goes upward from the base because the farther it goes from the base, the less melting it actually causes on the permafrost in the Antarctic. As you can see, it's actually melting the permafrost on the Antarctic surface. It's pointing to right where it is, and if you go to this point, you can see exactly where it's being emitted from. That point comes all the way to the end of this antenna on this TTA. It's obscured under this obscurement, which tells us that it's top secret. But this emissions TTA is at the end of this antenna. The emissions arrow from the melting of the permafrost goes right to that TTA. And here we see the antenna up close and personal. It's right here, attached to this array. Right at the tip of this antenna is where that came from. It went right directly to it. And this is the installment that houses that TTA. It's only part of the installment, but it is the structure that houses that particular near Casey Base TTA. This is Casey Base. I believe this emissions TTA is affiliated with Casey Base. Casey Base has their own TTA, but